See, the difference between me and you is you think there's no difference between me and you. Shit.
Baby, Hudson is in the building.
I'm raw.
We don't have one hell of a time.
I'm going to start the list off with Demon's Souls, as it's one of the newer games that came out this generation, and it really, really was a fucking awesome game. Demon's Souls had everything that I really liked in the gameplay department for an RPG. It was real time, it was skills. It wasn't so much luck, it wasn't so much stats, it was all about skills. If you can maneuver the right way and learn the way of defeating each and every enemy and their movements, you will beat the game. However, there's always a risk of dying in one or two shots, and that always, kept you on edge. And that's why I freaking love Demon's Souls, and it's literally one of the best RPGs I've ever played in my life. It is definitely deserving its number 5 spot. Everything from the unique design, to the awesome gameplay, to the freaking fucking I'm gonna kill somebody if I die deaths. Overall, Demon's Souls definitely deserves its number 5 spot.
I'm the rain that's like the shining sun, but I'll be a fool if I say you're the one, and I'll be the water that's raining down on the land.
Number 4 is Final Fantasy VII. Yes, there had to be a Final Fantasy on my list. I've played almost every single one except for 6. I know it's weird. I do like the series a lot. I did like Final Fantasy 12 gameplay more than Final Fantasy VII or any other Final Fantasy. But as far as Final Fantasy goes, Final Fantasy VII just began everything for me. For RPGs, I don't know if I'd ever get into RPGs without Final Fantasy VII. And Final Fantasy VII, to be fair, for its time, was actually a pretty good game. It had a very nice standard gameplay. It had the real-time kind of backgrounds going on. It had these awesome dragon designs and robots, and everything was really cool for when I was in junior high school or high school, whenever it came out. And it was just really badass to play. And I mean, all the fucking characters look like Dragon Ball Z. Cloud looked like Gohan Super Saiyan. And I was just like, oh my god, it's so awesome. And his sword's like 1 billion times bigger than his body. And yeah, so Final Fantasy VII definitely brought me into the RP genre. And I still can play it to this day. And I still enjoy it. And even though I do think Final Fantasy XII has my favorite gameplay of all the Final Fantasies, Final Fantasy VII as a complete package is definitely my favorite one and deserves the number 4 spot.
Obama's president, so what's it represent? Just because the niggas half black don't mean he's heaven sent. You're clueless to evidence, and all the minds he's messing with. His charming smile hasn't got my ass about this debt for shit.
Knights of the Old Republic gets my number 3 spot. Wow. I don't know why a lot of people don't mention this game. Knights of the Old Republic was absolutely one of my favorite fucking RPGs of all time. It was awesome. From the great voice acting to the awesome dialogue options. To me, I didn't have a PC really when I was young. I mean, I had one, but I never really used it for gaming. So it really came to life for me to get this kind of like PC RPG, but with really, really good voice acting and an interesting story. And to get me into a freaking Star Wars game, I like Star Wars, but I'm never a big fan, is friggin' hard. And somehow Knights of the Old Republic accomplished that. So with that, it's fun as hell storyline to go through and different dialogue options to its pretty good battle system to its awesome graphics. Knights of the Old Republic definitely deserves my number 3 spot and definitely one of BioWare's best games in my opinion.
At night in my window I see your silhouette, crying heavy tears, look how wet my pillow.
The number 2 spot goes to Persona 4. Whoa! A Japanese RPG! Yes. I freaking loved this game. I absolutely loved it. It was really hard for me to decide on all the Shin Megami games. I never played Nocturne, but I played Digital Devil Saga. Loved it. I played Persona 3. Loved it. However, Persona 4, to me, took Persona 3 and took out the bad, put in the new, gave a better story, and overall just did everything I wanted from an RPG, especially Persona, and I really have almost no flaws with Persona 4. I like the Sims part, I like the story better than 3, and I love the battle system, I love the design, one of my favorite games of all time. So Persona 4 is definitely a kick-ass game that deserves all the awards it got. It deserves my number 2 spot for best RPG, and I'm going to give it to Persona 4.
Don't always have to stick by my side. Just make sure you remember me when I die. I am
Number 1 is Mass Effect. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Okay, I know I'm going to get a lot of bitching for this one. Mass Effect 2, by the way. Mass Effect 2 is not an RPG, Whitey. You shoot, and you don't do RPG stats, and, shut up. Okay? Just shut up. I don't care if some people don't consider RPG. I consider RPG. I love Mass Effect 2. Okay? I love the shit out of this game. This is one of my favorite games. This is possibly my second favorite game of all time. Or it may be my first. I can't really decide between it and Uncharted 2. But the point is that Mass Effect 2 is absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal game. There was really nothing bad about it, in my opinion. Some people could bring up flaws and the story was lifeless and blah, blah, blah. To me, the story was fucking interesting through the whole game. I was interested. I loved it. I really, really want to I just want to play 3 so bad now that I'm thinking about it. It was just so freaking good, man. The gameplay was top-notch, some of the best ever in RPG status. I mean, most RPG gameplays lack, and you worry about, you focus on story. But I really love the shit out of the story and the gameplay in this game. It gives you a lot of replayability. It was just a perfect RPG, in my opinion. If some people don't consider RPG, then I guess Persona 4 would be my favorite RPG if you don't consider Mass Effect an RPG, but whatever. So overall, the Mass Effect 2 definitely gets my number 1 spot as best RPG of all time. There's a lot of honorable mentions that I would take forever to go through, from Digital Devil Saga to I obviously liked Persona 3 too a lot. There's Final Fantasy 12. I really liked Final Fantasy 4 a lot. There's just so many. I really liked Magna Carta too. I know a lot of people did, and I was one of the bigger fans. Lost Odyssey was phenomenal. Great story. There's just so many, man. I could go through a huge list, and one day I will. But those are honorable mentions. They're all great, and they're close to these games. But these top 5 are my top 5 RPGs of all time. Obviously, there's not a lot of Super Nintendo games. I didn't grow up playing those older games, so there's not going to be a lot of Chrono Trigger and all those other ones. Though I did not like Chrono Trigger. Just for the record, not a fan of it at all. Tried it multiple times, tried to get into it multiple times, just so boring. Not my type of game. But overall, there's not a lot of older RPGs, and that's simply because I didn't grow up with that. I grew up mostly with the end of PS1 and then PS2. So overall, this is my top 5 list. I would love to hear your top 5 RPGs of all time. It would be great. And sure, give me some more suggestions on the next top 5. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.